Emma and Nathan.
Nate.
And we are going to answer some of the questions that you guys sent us last week. Thanks for humoring us and asking us some questions. So, here we go. We hope you still like us after this.
Hopefully.
Okay, so what is Nate's favorite dinner that I cook?
I don't know. There's some really good ones. One of my favorites, though, is this corn dog casserole.
Oh my gosh, that's what you're picking?
That she makes.
Yeah, that's what you're picking for my...
It is really good.
Okay. Yeah.
But she makes all sorts of fantastic stuff. Her chocolate chip cookies are a big hit. Her pie is almost bar none.
I think it's safe to say that I bake better than I cook.
True. But you do make that, what is that? That blue cheese stuffed chicken breast?
Yeah, that's really good.
Seriously, world. It's the shit. It's pretty good.
Okay, so what's been the best memory from this past year, and what has been the most challenging? I think it's safe to say the most challenging thing from this year was that we lost Nate's dad earlier this year.
That sucked. That sucked pretty bad. So that's definitely one of the most challenging ones.
I would say working through that as a married couple has been the most challenging thing that we've done this year. So
yeah.
That's at the top of the list.
that's definitely right up there.
Yeah.
Right up there.
What's been the best?
We've had a lot of good memories.
Year.
I mean, this year has been a roller coaster of goods and bads, but I think definitely Big
buying
Blue
the house
was definitely one of the top ones, if not the, because, I mean, you got all of you guys to pay attention to what we have to say.
And I think that
so that's good.
Having the house was really one thing that helped us work through losing Dad, too.
It did.
Like,
it helped.
Having a common goal, I think, was one of the big things. So we didn't know we were buying a house. It just kind of happened. And it all happened really, really fast. In Lansing right now, the market is to the point where it's so much more affordable to buy than it is to rent. Yeah. And so Blue just kind of fell into our laps, and it's definitely been something that has helped us work through stuff as a couple and get our lines of communication open more. But I guess that would go with this question, too. How do we mesh our styles?
Well, it's pretty simple. She brings me the stuff she wants, and I yay or nay it.
Oh, hush. No, I think that, one of the reasons that our styles mesh so well together at this point is the fact that this is our fifth place that we've decorated together. Fourth, fifth?
Hold on, let me see.
We had 2 in Lansing, 1 in Mason, and 1 in Okemos, and then this.
So
5 places.
5, I guess, yeah.
This is our 5th place that we've decorated together.
Wait. What's our 4th or 5th? One of the two.
Yeah, basically we've done this a lot.
Yeah.
And, hey, stop fighting. We've done this enough times that when Nate and I first got together, my apartment was hot pink and black because I was a single woman living by myself, and I figured I could decorate however I wanted to.
Which is correct.
So, the transition between having a pink and black apartment full of IKEA stuff to this has been quite the transition. So,
it's been a good transition, though.
Yeah,
it's really, really done wonders for you. It's a good thing, America. Don't worry about it.
I think one thing that we always do is we don't make any big things without talking to the other one about it first.
Yeah.
Like, I'll see something that I know we can do something cool with, like the table, for example. We had the table before we even knew what the dining room was going to look like. And we hadn't talked about getting a new dining set. But
nope, but it happened.
It was such a good price. Like, I bought the table for $30, and then I gave the guy a case of beer when he dropped it off. But, I mean, I didn't decide what I was doing with the table until Nate and I sat down and we, made a mood board and decided what we were going to do with it. And then that's kind of how the process evolved into what it turned out to be. Sorry, the dogs are fighting, but we're just going to let them.
It's
raining,
cool.
So they're not allowed outside right now.
All right.
Okay. Male or female dog as a companion? I don't think that's a fair question.
Well, I mean,
It's all really about the personality of the dog, I would say.
We have 2 females and 1 male.
And I grew up with a female dog.
Yeah.
And you grew up with male dogs, mostly.
True.
So...
I mean, as far as and this goes with everything, sex doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't. It all depends on how hard you hit them. See, I responded to that.
I think that it's personality with dogs, not their gender. But I do think that female dogs, at least in my experience, are a little bit more kinder spirited, and they're a little bit more in tune with your emotions.
Well, it depends on the breed.
Like my dude dogs that I've always been around have always been a little bit more spazzy, but very sweet. You know.
I mean, it all depends on the breed. It depends on the breeding.
Yeah, definitely.
It depends on
Lineage
whether or not they're fixed.
dogs.
It depends on health problems. A whole set of factors. Overall, I would say,
you want to say
since
hi?
I've had both, speaking of which...
Speaking of a male dog...
It's the same as, Hi, same as.
Speaking of spazzy dogs, this is what a male dog tends to do, in my opinion. Oh!
Well...
Sir!
A male terrier. Seamus, get down.
Go play.
Go on.
So, I mean, I don't think it's a fair question to say male or female dog.
It does depend on how you breed. It depends how you raise them.
Yeah, and we don't know anything about our dogs' histories.
No.
Because we adopted all of our dogs. We rescued all of our dogs.
Yeah.
So we have no opinions on that.
Children!
And this is parenthood when you have 3 dogs.
3 terriers, mind you. Want to throw that in? 3 terriers.
Okay, well, I guess this is a good one to go to since they're all fighting puppies. Okay, who is your favorite puppy? It depends on the day.
Seamus is very annoying.
Yeah, I mean, this
However,
is his life, essentially, being this guy. Do you want to say hi? Say hi to the camera. And then we have our little girlies. You know, so, I mean, it depends on the day.
Seamus is incredibly annoying sometimes.
But he's so
However,
sweet.
his loyalty is completely unquestionable. He would die for you.
Yeah.
Bridget's independent, but she when she wants attention and love, she will get it.
She'll come find you if she wants to talk to you
And
about
she would
something.
follow me into hellfire and death itself unless whatever enemy we had to face was riding a lawnmower.
Then it's over.
Then I'm on my own.
It's over.
But that's okay.
And then there's Tegan, and Tegan just doesn't have a bad bone in her body, and she doesn't really need us, which is kind of nice. Like, she is a total snuggle bunny, and she wants to be with us, but at the same time, she's not like Seamus, who jumps up in your face and is like, oh my god, I need you to love me right now. Like, Tegan's more of a, hi, I want to talk to you. Let me sit on the foot of your bed and randomly come up and give you a kiss, and I'll leave you alone, other than that. So I'd say today, especially with the rain, Tegan's my favorite today.
I think it's safe to say that Bridget is my dog through and through.
Yeah.
Seamus and Tegan kind of switch off between Emma, but Bridget's pretty much mine.
Yeah.
But as far as favorite, I don't know if I could really choose a favorite.
No, on a like all overall basis, I couldn't pick one.
No.
No.
It's like asking me which is my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Wow, a lot of your guys' questions are dogs. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Do you guys ever dress up your dogs? Not on a regular basis.
Halloween.
Halloween is the only time our dogs get dressed up. Tegan might get to the point where she needs a coat because she has hair instead of fur.
But I am pushing that as far as possible because personally, I believe that
they're dogs. They don't need a coat.
Don't need clothes.
Like, if you get a dog that belongs in your climate, like...
I mean,
if you get an Egyptian hairless, scary thing...
It's not scary.
No,
it's
that
just,
Egyptian thing is scary.
It's weird to us.
Yeah.
We
like dogs with hair on it.
Yeah.
If you get, like, a hairless dog and you live in Michigan... That's just bad planning on your part. You kind of
need to put clothes on.
Yeah, you need to put a clothes on, but you shouldn't get a dog that doesn't go with your climate either.
No, I mean if you're gonna like dress up the dog just because you want it to like match your purse, I think you need to re-look at your life. I'm sorry if that offends any of you, and I do apologize, but that is my opinion.
Yeah, we're not dress up people, but they do dress up for Halloween.
Yes, we do call them our children, but we also at the end of the day They're dogs.
So
okay, they eat their own poop sometimes.
Especially Seamus. Seamus. Okay. Okay. Why did you adopt so many dogs, and would you adopt more?
No.
I have kind of this pipe dream that when we're old and retired and we've climbed the real estate ladder enough, that we'll have a beautiful farm somewhere that we can be a sunset farm. Because
no dog should die.
No dog should die in a cage. Like, that's just how Nate and I are, and we are really creepy dog people. So, as of right now in our life, where we are and where we're living, no, we would not take any more. Why did we adopt so many in the first place? Because we're crazy, and
the first one was my fault.
The first one was Nate's fault. Second one was my fault. And third one just kind of fell into our lap.
Well, Seamus, she was... Why were you looking for puppies in the first place? Were you just kind of like...
It was... Okay, we finally moved into an apartment where we could have dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And Nate had this blue heeler growing up his entire life. And
I miss Merlin.
Merlin was a really, really great dog. And
Crazy, but he was a good dog.
Yeah, Merlin had to get put down. And so we finally had an apartment that we could have a dog at. And so I thought it would be really nice for Nate if we got a blue heeler. And so we just started searching online and on Craigslist and stuff for people adopting out blue heelers. And we came across Seamus. And then when we heard Seamus' little sob story, which you guys can read about on the blog post that introduced all the dogs, we had to get him. Like, we couldn't leave him where he was. And then Bridget happened because
He needed a playmate.
He needed a playmate. Dogs are so much high energy that we had to get a playmate. And then we were perfectly happy with 2. And we thought we were maxed out
and
at 2.
And that was also what we could do at the apartment at that time was 2. No more, no less. Or no more than that.
Yeah. And then Tegan was not... She's our accident baby.
Our little mistake.
She's our little mistake. Don't be a fool. Wrap your tools. No, we...
That was weird.
I know. I'm sorry. She's our accident baby, which, again, you can read on that post. But, basically, we only adopt dogs. We don't purchase dogs just because there's so many dogs out there who don't have anywhere to live, and it's our same mentality of that dogs shouldn't die in cages, which is a dog shouldn't live its life in a cage either. And if it were up to us and we had the means to, like if we owned 1,000 acres out in the middle of the country, you can bet every damn penny that we'd have like 37 dogs running
all the dogs. All of them.
It would take up all of our money, but it's our little pet project, literally.
I got you. You see it, world?
We can't. I can't stand the idea of a dog that hasn't done anything to hurt anybody to spend its life in a cage. I can't do it.
My one weakness in my entire gruff beer drinking, flannel wearing, steel working demeanor, I cry at dog movies.
Yeah, it's true.
I haven't even watched Marley and Me because my brain can't take
I told him, I was like, Nate, I'm not. When I watched Marley and Me, I was not even a dog person, and I was watching it with my sister, who was not a dog person, and we were both sitting there like.
I cried at Homeward Bound.
Yeah, we don't watch
That's
dog movies
bad
in this
it
house.
is.
We're creepy dog people, but we don't watch dog movies in this house.
I can watch The Notebook and laugh at them. Twilight does nothing. Titanic is like, hey, boobies.
Oh, shush.
Well.
Okay, next question.
I'm just saying, dogs. our weakness is dogs, and we just love them.
Yeah, we love dogs.
And we would like to we just like give them a happy place at the end of their day.
Yes.
That'd be the nice.
All they want is a really pretty dog house, and we can give that to them.
That's right.
How do we keep the dogs away from our projects? That's a hard one, actually.
Depending on the project. Some projects we actually...
There are things that haven't been done that need to be done because there's no way to keep the dogs away from it. Like, that's one reason that a lot of the rooms in the house aren't painted. Like, we waited so long to paint the fireplace room because it's really hard for me to do that. Mm-hmm. There's no way to keep them out of there without them being locked into, like, their crates or outside. Our bedroom or something. And I'm not going to leave them locked in my bedroom with all of our stuff when I'm trying to paint a room for 8 hours.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And with the seasons changing... It needs, once it snows and we actually get like snow on the ground, it'll be a lot easier to keep them away from projects because they won't get so dirty when they're outside. But right now we're in that awful Michigan middle season where it's just 6 inches of mud. So right now we're not really doing any projects.
No big ones, at least.
In the summer, yeah, no, like, nothing that they couldn't get to.
Yeah.
In the summer, though, we just throw them outside. That's the joy of having a fenced-in yard. We put their kiddie pool up, we put a bowl of water out there, and they just run around and have a good time.
If you live in, like, California or Arizona or Florida or Texas, someplace that really doesn't have climate change, just
put your dog outside.
Put them outside.
Yeah.
Go out there when, take a little break, go out there, make sure they're not digging up holes or eating the
Yeah, don't leave them out there. I only leave them outside unattended for maybe like half an hour at a time. I could leave them out there longer than that, but our house doesn't have a window that looks out into the backyard, so there's no way for me to keep like a constant eye on them. And I mean, the only reason I'm comfortable leaving them outside is because our yard has chain link fences, and then it has a privacy fence all the way around it because we have neighbors on all of our sides. Yeah. So they'd have to get through not one but 2 layers of fence to get out. So I know they're not going anywhere. And we have like cement pavers around the perimeter of our fence. So there's no way they're going anywhere.
Yeah.
What's our favorite project been so far? Oh.
I gotta say my favorite was the entertainment.
Yeah,
center.
That's kind of where I was thinking
That's
too.
kind of like my baby because we
customized it so much with no real idea what we were doing. The bookshelf was our first ever DIY thing.
Real project.
Really, that we did together. And we had no idea what we were doing, and we winged it. And it was really embarrassing because the entire time we were doing it, like, we were kind of anticipating at every step for it to fail. And so we had backup plans for what to do if what we were doing didn't work. And somehow it actually worked without a single problem.
I'm not going to lie. Half of the projects you do, and if you learn anything from us, most of it is like, I really hope this works.
Yeah, we have no idea sometimes. We're just like, well, if it falls down, then we will repair the wall behind it and we'll fix the wall. Or
we'll figure something out.
If the paint looks bad, we'll paint over it. Like, we believe in projects that we do that we're not hiring out, that they are not unfixable.
Yeah.
We wouldn't go and, oh God, I don't know, like,
tear the toilet up without having a backup toilet or
No, I mean, we did that though.
We did.
I mean, like, I wouldn't go down and start ripping out parts of the foundation to water seal it without checking with somebody first or something like that. Like, we wouldn't do anything that's non-fixable or unfixable before
we're crazy, but we're smart crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be smart crazy.
Yeah, but that's my favorite big project. I think my favorite little project that made a big difference was probably upholstering the canvases above our bed, because that made such a big difference on how the bedroom looked, and it made it look more finished, not like we just threw a bed in there.
My favorite little project is actually this baby right behind
Yeah, this one was really fun.
This was actually going to have some Star Wars artwork on it, but we put it up and we're like, that looks really good the way it is.
Yeah,
so we left it.
And that one was fun too because that was like a Sunday afternoon. We didn't have any extra money and we didn't know what to do, but we just wanted to get something put up on the wall.
We just threw something together, and lo and behold, it worked. And we were like, "Oh, dodge that bullet."
Yeah, exactly.
So, what do we got next?
Let's see here. Okay, here's an easy one. Does Nate have flannel PJs?
Yes.
Yes, Nate has flannel PJs.
They have pockets.
Yes, my husband likes flannel. There's no getting away from that.
It's warm.
DC or Marvel? I just like superheroes. I'm not biased.
I mean, I think my favorites are from DC, being Superman and Batman. But as far as overall, I'm going to have to go with Marvel just because I really like their storytelling. Mm-hmm. You got the X-Men.
Yeah, X-Men's really good.
One of the most underrated supervillains of all time, in my opinion, is Apocalypse. And he's Marvel, so... Yeah.
We'll let you do a giant comic book nerd out someday.
We'll do that. I will actually post in Broadcast Home one day of why Apocalypse should be in the next movie. And... you can comment on that.
Yeah.
Because we're going to sign a petition. Anyways.
Let's see. How does Nate's head stay so shiny? This is all natural shine, baby.
That's all me.
Yeah.
That's all me.
That's him.
That's also a wet blade.
Yeah.
So, I wet it down, I foam it up, and I shave it with a razor. Yeah. That's how I keep it shiny.
Yeah. And that...
And this is my natural glisten.
Yeah, he's just that beautiful. It's his little halo. Halo. Is his beard compensating for his lack of hair? No.
It's actually hiding my fat chin.
Nate just has a really severe case of baby face if he doesn't have a goatee on.
I have to have something.
And he's tried several different kinds of facial hair, and I vetoed all of them except for this. I like this. I think it narrows his face, and since I'm the one who made him shave his head in the first place, you know, I totally did. Okay, Nate was pretending like he had hair until, like, I mean, at least 3 months into when we were dating.
Yeah.
And finally one day I just said, Nate, you know, you'd look really more attractive if you shaved your head. And then several horrifying head shaving incidents later.
Well, one really, really bad one, and a couple of iffy ones.
It takes a long time for the head to get calloused enough that you can shave it so it looks like this. The first couple times you shave your head with a razor,
you're going to look like a zombie.
It's going to look like a murder scene.
You're
and because I
bad.
shaved his head the first time, I get blamed for the murder scene, but I'm pretty sure that even if he had done it, it would have looked like that because his head was just...
It's going to look bad the first time, guys, if you're thinking about shaving your head.
Yeah.
But after a while, give it about a month.
Yeah.
And then it'll start looking like this. This is about, what, 2 years?
No, you have been shaving your head for like 4 years at this point. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty good.
First time we shaved Nate's head was our first Christmas together. And that was Christmas of 2009.
Damn.
So he's been a baldy for 4 years now. And I think he looks very pretty as a baldy. How long do you keep up Christmas decorations for? It's not the question of how long you leave them up for. It's when do you put them up that is the crisis creator in our family. I like to put mine up like right at Thanksgiving. But Nate has a very strict policy of no Christmas decorations until after Thanksgiving, which I have to respect because every holiday does deserve its own joy.
Every holiday deserves its own due. Santa doesn't need to be poking his ass in Thanksgiving.
So, you know, I can follow that rule. We usually leave it up until like January 2nd or 3rd, but I think this Seamus just fell over. I'm sorry. I think this year we're having a bunch of friends over for New Year's Eve, for our first New Year's Eve in the house. Mm-hmm. So we might take it all down before our New Year's party just so that it's not in the way.
More room.
We have a lot of Halloween decorations up, or Christmas decorations. Real or fake Christmas trees? That is one of the big
That is what we fight about
marriage.
Actually the most.
Yes.
Because when I was growing up, on my little, I don't really want to call it a farm, but for all intents and purposes, it was a farm.
Yeah.
But in my house, the tradition was the day after Thanksgiving, we went out, cut down our own tree, brought it back to the house. My dad and I would keep it watered, and our house would smell like a pine tree.
Okay, and here's my argument. I think that having to water my Christmas tree takes away from the fun of the season. I don't want to climb under that shit and like get all up in the tree stand and water it. And on top of that, I don't understand paying for a Christmas tree every year when you can buy one the day after Christmas for like $35 and then you have one for the entire time you're living in your house because I'm cheap and I want to buy it once and be done with it.
There's a place you can go where you can have your Christmas tree, you cut it down yourself, and then it's taken back to the place in a horse-drawn carriage.
No,
and then they have homemade wreaths, and you get candy canes, and it's amazing. It's fun.
Okay, I can respect that. I also respect the fact that I have dogs, and I do not want my dogs who like to pee on trees to pee in my living room because there's a tree in my living room.
This only happened once at our house.
No.
Just once.
No. Fake Christmas trees. I am perfectly content to put some, like, real branches in it to make it smell more like a Christmas tree to respect that. But no, fake Christmas trees.
I had to give a lot into this one, but I'm still full out.
No, I won. Let's see. How did we meet? Do you want to take this one or should I take
this is a long one, but it's also a doozy.
Yeah.
We met.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to splice this one so it has its own thing so that we can make a separate video for that. So you don't want to listen to us, you don't have to.